Welcome back to the live stream. Good morning. I hope you all had a great weekend. And when I woke up this morning, I was very excited to see the sundial chart. If you take a look, you'll see what I'm talking about. Oh, I changed the bindings. Right, there we go. So new bindings. So I hopefully won't be messing up the camera as often. But we've already got a couple of comments. Let me read those real quick. So Silver says, let's get ready to rumble. And Kyle says, and Acorn Sucks says Kyle and Goliath. And a lot going on this week on all fronts. Certainly there is a lot going on this week. But Sundial, very excited to see that even though we closed the week moving down in after hours, we ended up regaining pretty much all of that. We actually got up to the highs of after hours, right? We had highs of 93 cents, 93.8 cents, and we also hit 93.8 cents right here, right before getting bounced down. So now we're down to just below 92. Hopefully we'll start a little uptrend before the market actually opens. But it's looking good for Sundial, right? The fact that we haven't just tanked as we have, in every time in the past when Sundial was pumping, we would instantly just tank in after hours and all that. The fact that we haven't and that we're actually near the highs is very good for Sundial stock. So I am still very hopeful that we will be pumping up big today on Sundial. Zach Taylor says, good morning. Good morning, Zach. And we've already got quite a few viewers on the stream. Nice. It looks like people are getting in the rhythm. They're getting in the groove. We've got DWAC also, which is relatively stagnant, but had a pretty good day on Friday, right? They did pump up pretty big, up to 65, and then slowly downtrended down to just below 60. We're sitting at 59 for most of the after hours and even the pre-market now. So Berkney Herring says, FJB coin. Never heard of that one, but I'll take a look at it. Vu says, good morning, Rob. Good morning, Vu. Good morning, Manny. Good morning, Jeff. All right. So Vu says, it's going to be very manly expansion for sure. Oh, very manly explosion. Yeah. For Sundial. I hope so. It looks like we're on a little bit of a dip right now, but I'm not too worried about it. Not too worried because we did just bounce off the highs of after hours yesterday. In fact, if we want to draw a little line, we'll get rid of this because it's not too big of a deal. But we did get a little bounce off of 93.8 cents right there. So you can see we were basically just touching the highs of after hours, and then we're bouncing down a little, not to be troubled by it, right? But that's why we're moving down. It looks like. Hopefully, we'll start moving up soon. Now, 1 second, real quick, guys. I'll be right back. I need to turn my fan on. It gets a little hot in here with all these screens going, so I'll be right back. There we go. And I should say the ring light, too. The ring light that we've got right up here, very bright, very hot. So Zach Taylor says, saw a bunch of people sharing your videos on Sundial yesterday on StockTwits. Your title strategy is working for sure. Let's see. I could probably pull up the analytics for it, but we'll take a peek at that later. We'll take a peek at the analytics later. So Christopher Wong, let's go Sundial, make it happen. And Carlos Rivas says, will this be a long-term stock? Sundial, I think so. I've been holding it over the long term, and I certainly think that after they've shown profitability and are becoming one of the largest cannabis distributors and retailers, it's looking pretty good for them. It's looking pretty good. I think that they could be good over the long term, definitely, especially as legalization happens. That would just help out all the cannabis stocks. I think that a lot of them are great long-term holds, so I do hold a decent amount of these cannabis stocks in my long-term portfolio, as long as my more short to mid, even kind of long-term speculative account, which is where I actually have most of my Sundial shares, right? In the Robinhood, I use it mostly to speculate on riskier plays. But I do have some Sundial in. Actually, I don't have Sundial in the long term because M1 Finance, at least last I checked, does not support Sundial. They don't let you buy it, so I actually don't have any in the long-term account, but I would if I could. I have other companies like TLRY or Cannabis and all that. So, Jordan Isler Peterson, good morning, man. Good morning. Good to see you back. So we've got not a ton of new news for Sundial stocks since the weekend happened. Let's see what we've got. If anything has popped up. Let's see. It doesn't look like any new news, just the old catalysts that we've got going for us. Let's check the options and see what's going on. So a ton new $1 call options for November 19th. Now we've got over 200,000 $1 call options for November 19th. So by this Friday, if we can get up over $1, which it looks very likely that we can. If you look at this 30-day, it looks like we're on our way to $1. Hopefully today. Hopefully we can hit it today, maybe on open. We'll get a big a big buying surge, a big green bar moving us up over $1. But now we have, you can see right here, 219,000 open interest call options for $1 strike price. So that could certainly squeeze some institutions a little bit, right? A little bit of a gamma squeeze. And the Elon tweet, Zach Taylor, yeah, I saw the one where he responded to Bernie. I saw that. Let's pull up Elon Musk's Twitter. Let's do, that's always fun. We'll pull up Elon Musk real quick, so, and we'll see what he said. He responded to Bernie. I don't know how easy it'll be to find, but I don't use Twitter that often. But let's see what he said. Man, he's been tweeting a lot. Let's see. Maybe we have to go. Oh, tweets and replies. Here we go. Here we go. The 420 tweet. No, I didn't see him. Oh, haha. Let's see. Here's the Elon tweet right here. 12 hours ago, Elon said, due to inflation, 420 has gone up by 69. That can only be good for Sundial stock. I can't imagine that hurting Sundial stock. So that's cool. Thank you for pointing that out, Zach. That's awesome. And Zach Afsari says, good morning, good people. Good morning to you, other Zach. All right, there we go. Now we've got two. But I will point out the Bernie Sanders tweet, actually. I'll pull up the Bernie Sanders tweet that Elon responded to. So let's see. So Bernie Sanders tweeted out, we must demand that the extremely wealthy pay their fair share, period. And then Elon tweeted back, I keep forgetting that you're still alive. However, he also responded with, want me to sell more stock, Bernie? Just say the word. So he might be angling this to get in the position where he can sell some more Tesla stock. So let's actually pull up Tesla stock. I'm curious. We'll pull it up over TLRY real quick. And it looks like Tesla stock did move down, right? As we opened up the day, we moved down a little bit. Not that much, but a little bit, right? Probably people are getting a little worried that Elon is going to continue selling his stock, right? He's obviously going to continue at least selling that 10% that he promised he would. And some people are probably worried that he's starting to think about selling a little bit more. So Silver says Starlink, is that under Tesla company control or private company? I believe Starlink is SpaceX's initiative. So I think Starlink is private as of right now. Kitchener Leslie, CNN, did Elon Musk threaten Bernie Sanders? That's how they would color it. I think it's just a joke from what we just saw here. I'm not too worried about it being a threat to Bernie Sanders. So $5 truck Zach sounded very confident on that con call. And Stone get money. Good morning, brothers. Squeeze the short sellers, Sundial. I hope so. I hope we can squeeze some shorts. Let's take a peek at the Ortex data. So I actually looked at this a little bit earlier, and you can see that the short interest has risen a little bit. It was around 314 million, I believe, last we checked. Now it's 322 million. So some more shorts have piled into Sundial. They're getting close to being fully utilized at 98.29%. Who knows where they might pull out some additional shares they could short, though. But it's looking good, right? It's looking like there are quite a few shorts in this thing. Shorts are getting pretty desperate if they're continuing to short on this news, just to try to keep us down a little bit. So it's looking good for Sundial. I am very hopeful that we will be moving up today. Potentially we'll even see some green bars on the open, right? We saw a couple on the open yesterday, but we quickly got beaten down, and it was a relatively bearish day, honestly, until at least during the stream it was pretty bearish. We were just moving down for the most part until the afternoon hit, and we just started moving up. Just a perfect V almost. Very nice V that we got yesterday, but hopefully we won't even need a V today. Hopefully we'll just continue moving up off of this pre-market activity, right? Hopefully we'll just start trending up as soon as the day opens. So Zach Taylor says, check out HITI along with Sundial. I grabbed a little of both. HITI. Interesting. HITI. High Tide. Interesting. Okay, so this one looks like it's pumped up with Sundial. Let's see what they're all about. HITI stock. And Johnny T says, hey, Rob, here's to a good trading week. Have you seen anything new regarding DWAC and or TMTG possible merger date? I have not seen that. Typically over the weekend, I don't do too much stock-related or work-related activity. I think it's important to have some balance and enjoy yourself over the weekend. So mostly during the week, but I will look into DWAC later today and see if there's anything new coming out for it. So HITI stock. Let's see what they're all about. Where's Market Watch? I want that. There we go. So their profile looks like they're a $400 million market cap company, and they engage in the manufacture and retail of cannabis, smoking accessories, and lifestyle products. It operates through the following segments: wholesale, retail, and corporate. Okay. So the retail segment represents buy brands including Canna Cabana, New Leaf Cannabis, Meta Cannabis Co., Kush Bar, Grass City, Smoke Cartel, and CBD City. All right, so it looks like potentially this is just a legal company. I don't think they're selling any cannabis themselves, right? Just looks like cannabis accessories. So that's good. They might even have access to legal banking and all that. I'm not sure, though. But that looks pretty good to me. I mean, the fact that they're rising on this Sundial news, I mean, all the cannabis stocks are, right? Aurora was rising yesterday. Even better than Sundial, right? Not percentage-wise, but they weren't bearish for as much of the day. And they've been doing pretty well. TLRY as well, we can take a peek. They've been doing pretty well in after hours. They were doing pretty well in pre-market. They're doing splendidly. So TLRY's been doing pretty good also. I think all the cannabis companies are starting to move up on the hope that Sundial could be pumping out. It looks like we are moving down somewhat strongly to 90 cents on Sundial. We'll see if we can't get a nice bounce off of that. Not too worried about it, right? 90 cents is still a very nice price to be at for Sundial. Regarding where we were just a couple of days ago, down below below 70 cents. So not too worried that we're hitting 90. Obviously, we're going to see a lot of volatility with Sundial as a lot of people are down on money on it. A lot of people were buying it over the past, if you look over the past 90 days, a lot of people were buying at much higher prices, right? Above 90 cents even. Some people were buying. So people are looking to take a little bit of profit over the past 180 days. It's looking even worse for some people who are bag holding. Some people are probably buying up here above $1, above 120 even. So some people will be looking to get out likely just because they've been stuck in this one for a couple of months. And as we rise, we'll surely see some selling pressure as people are looking to take a little bit of profit or even just break even. If they've been holding this thing for months, they thought it was a dud, they'll be looking to take a break even on Sundial most likely. So some people will obviously be holding. I'm still holding. So let's see what the comment section is saying. Unique experience. Would you say by end of November we could touch 2 and 3? End of November is pretty close. I could definitely see us touching that, though. It really depends on how this news takes off and if we can get a short squeeze going. Because the gamma squeeze will move us a bit. We've got over 200,000 shares, over 200,000 open interest call options at the $1 strike price. But a short squeeze is what really could move us because there are over 300 million shares short on Sundial stock. So if we really got squeezing, that could be very good for the short-term share price. Now, what could do it, I think, is people on Reddit really taking a Sundial stock as a meme stock, right? Obviously, there are fundamental reasons to hold Sundial, but I think that if we could get this thing pumping up to number 1 on Reddit and Wall Street Bets, then we could really see a lot of action moving into it, a lot of traders putting their money there. Right now, we're only ranked at number 6, though, so hopefully we're going to get a little bit higher. Tyler Mike says, these videos are good. It would be great to have another voice to expose the crooked market every time Sundial has a run. It barcodes. Look at last Friday, just before market close, it got frozen. Yeah, Sundial, I mean, that's what we were talking about a minute ago. They have definitely been stopped a couple of times, right? You can see a couple of different pumps, and they just got shut down every time. Fortunately, it's looking like this is a little bit different. This pump is much more significant. You can even see that on the chart. We've moved up much more, and it is off real fundamental news, right? Oftentimes it was just off of rumors of legalization and all that they would be pumping on. This time, though, they had their earnings call. It was great, and they're doing share buybacks, which is a great direction to take the company in instead of doing dilution. So it's looking like people are taking this pump a little bit more seriously. So let's see. What would you say Sundial will hit next 420 2022? Ooh, I mean, last 420, or what did we do this 420? I'm forgetting what we did. I don't think it was anything crazy. So 420, let's see. We got up pretty high. We got up above $1 on last 420. So, not great, but obviously we were coming off of a big pump up. It was not that long after we had the big pump up and we were downtrending pretty strongly. So it was going to be tough. If we could see ourselves getting in a nice uptrend and then 420 hits, we could probably pump up quite a bit, but I care more about the real catalysts than just the date, right? I think that maybe even just a rallying call on Reddit to get us to the price 420 would be more impactful than actually the day 420, right? So I think that what it's really going to come down to is consumer sentiment. And if we can get a lot of Reddit traders in on this and get this to the point where people think it's the next big meme stock pump, obviously there's short squeeze potential on it, right? It definitely has that going for it. Very high utilization, 98.29, over 300 million shares short, 15% of the short interest, 15% of the free float is shorted. So I could certainly see this thing taken off on Reddit if people really started posting about it. Obviously, I'm not too Reddit savvy. I don't actually post anything on Reddit, but we're currently at spot number 6. So maybe we could start to see a couple more Reddit savvy people posting about Sundial stock pumping this thing up. That would be nice to see. So let's see. What are the comments saying? So Zach Taylor, High Tide is a decade-old omni-channel cannabis retailer. They have about 85 stores spanning multiple Canadian provinces. In Alberta, High Tide controls roughly... Wow. So they are a retailer as well, a cannabis retailer. So not having access to banking in the U.S., that's fine. We are looking at that legalization bill pretty closely too. So hopefully that gets passed and these cannabis retailers don't have to worry about getting access to banking. But Noble H says, good morning, Rob. Hope you had a good weekend, dude. I certainly did. It was a very nice, relaxing weekend. I ended up going down to Charlotte, hitting up the Renaissance Fair. So it was pretty fun. But I hope you had a good weekend also, Noble. And Silver's asking, where's Nacho? Nacho Libre used to be in the chat all the time. I don't know where he is. So Mohammed Sadiq, hi, Rob. Is there potential in Prog by Friday? Well, let's take a peek at Prog. I was just looking at it earlier today. It looks like they came back pretty nicely over the course of the pre-market today, right? Back up to 320, which is much better than where they were at, midday yesterday. Below 3 at 290. It was not looking good for Prog. The fact that they're back up is nice, right? The fact that 3 has seemed to hold them fairly well, that they got back up above 3. By Friday, let's take a peek at the Prog options and just see what we're looking at. Okay, so we've got 29,000 open interest calls at 3.5 and 32,000 at 4. And these are expiring on Friday, so it's really the final hour for Prog stock, right? I mean, we can take a peek at what the future options look like, but you can see it's already not looking that great. For December, the 17th of December, we got 6,000 and 13,000, and that is far fewer than the 29 and 32 that we've got. And we do actually have very many more at the even further out strike prices like 450. We've got 24,000, 35,000 at 5, 18,000 at 550, and 34,000 at 750. We've got a bunch of open interest call options for Prog stock. We could certainly be doing well by Friday, but it's going to take a big push, right? A lot of people are going to need to enter Prog stock and push it up. That's what we're going to need to see to get these gamma squeeze this gamma squeeze going. So also for Prog stock, we can take a quick look at the short interest, but let's see what they've got there. So also very nice to see that they have a 32% short interest regarding the free float, right? 32% of the free float is short, 22 million shares, very high utilization, not much ammo left that shorts have to throw at them. So, yeah, very possible we could be doing good by Friday, but it's going to take an initial catalyst or something. Someone's going to need to buy big. We're going to need a whale, or we're going to need retail to come together and coordinate somewhat well, but it's going to be tough. But if it gets pulled off in the right way, it would certainly be very good for Prog stock. Now, we are unfortunately running out of time, right? By this Friday, if we don't get the gamma squeeze, then the odds of a short squeeze are looking much less likely, because the gamma squeeze is what we were hoping would be the big catalyst to pump it up enough to get shorts to start covering. So now we'll take a peek at, let's see, Tyler Mike, do you really think people are selling? They held through all those lows. Now they have huge catalyst, and now they're selling. I don't think so. It's Wall Street trickery. Yeah, no, I don't think a ton of people are selling. I think that there will be some selling pressure, right? As we get higher, I think some people will likely look at this as an opportunity to sell. I know there are a bunch of bag holders. And unfortunately, what's happened with Sundial in the past is people have been faked out a lot, right? They've seen these small pump-ups, and we'll take a peek at the 90-day chart, but they've seen little pump-ups like this and like this one, and they thought that maybe these would be the ones that took us very far, and they just got killed off. So people might be a little bit salty about that. They might be a little bit disappointed that Sundial hasn't been able to pump big in the past, and they might be expecting it to get killed off this time, and so they might end up selling because of their fears that Sundial won't be doing very well. I'm not selling, right? I haven't sold during any of those little pumps. I'm not selling during this one until we get to much, much higher prices. But I am very hopeful that, some people will hold on. It's obviously, I'm not telling anyone to hold on if they're not comfortable holding Sundial stock. But, if you want to take profits, feel free. But I'm not, or, if you even want to cut losses, some people are definitely down on money on Sundial. People who are buying above $1 right now are down a little bit. And when we see it hit $1, we might see some people looking to sell a little bit of stock. That's all I'm saying. Not everyone. I don't think everyone's going to be selling. Obviously, there are a lot of people who are expecting this to move much higher and will be holding. So I'm still bullish on Sundial stock, but we just got a comment about Elon. So Ashtray, for those of you who just joined the stream, Ashtray says, do you think Elon's 429 plus 69 tweet is related to Sundial? It certainly could be. It certainly could be. I wouldn't be opposed to thinking that, right? It is a little strange that he posts it right after Sundial starts pumping, so it's very possible he's trying to add to the hype. But Elon did just tweet 12 hours ago, and Zach pointed this out to us initially. Due to inflation, 420 has gone up by 69. So, obviously it could just be a joke. It could just be a play on words and whatnot. But it certainly seems convenient that he tweeted that out right after Sundial started pumping, right over the weekend when Sundial pumped the Friday prior. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. I mean, maybe Elon will tweet about it again. Maybe people just haven't quite connected the dots, or maybe the people who have connected the dots are waiting until market open to buy. They might not be interested in pre-market. They might not be, they might not be institutions. They might be retail. So I think that probably institutions are less interested in Elon's 42069 tweet than retail would be. And retail might be waiting until market open to buy. So Rocky Mountain Gobblers says, good morning. In late, any DWAC news? Well, we can pull this up. We can look and see if there's anything that's happened. But it looks like there's no new news for DWAC. Though on Friday, we did have a very nice pump. It looked like maybe some whale was buying in. We just saw massive volume coming in out of nowhere. We saw the same thing on PHUN and somewhat on MARK and BENE, I believe. But unfortunately, we did trend down. We're now trading around $60. It looks like we're going to be fighting with 60 come market open. So hopefully we'll end up on top of it, right? We don't want to dip down below, but, it's understandable if we do. We've been trading for a while in this range, and as long as we're not dropping below 55, I'm happy, right? I'm just waiting this thing out until Trump talks about it and gets this thing moving up. I think the next catalyst could really be good for it, but right now we're just waiting while things cool off. The fact that it hasn't dropped below 55 is very encouraging, that it's held as support quite nicely. I really like that. And right now, my interest, what I'm really watching closely is on other plays that have a little bit more of an urgent catalyst, right? Sundial's catalyst just came out a bit ago. DWAC, I'm just content to hold since I have such a low average price of $24.18. I don't mind just holding this one and not paying the utmost attention to it, right? As long as it's above 55, I'm happy, and we're just waiting for that catalyst. But I will be keeping an eye on it and letting you guys know when there is something that comes out as soon as I figure it out. So we will certainly be still watching DWAC. But right now, I think it's important to shift a little bit of my attention to Sundial, since I do have a fairly large position in that as well. And let's see, Shiny Shinyman says, do you think the Beats release could be a big catalyst for DWAC? So let's take a look at the Beats release. So Beats release. I can't say I've heard of what the Beats Pro, like the earbuds. Is that what you're talking about? Maybe it could. I don't know. I can't say I've heard of the Beats release. Oh, beta release. All right. Okay. Yeah. That makes a lot more sense. Of True Social. Yeah, I forget exactly. Let me see. When was that? I know it was coming up soon. So let's see. Detailed guide on how to sign up for the beta. When is that getting released? Okay, so it's available in the App Store up to 90 days before it's released. All right, let's see. So the release date is... Okay, it's slated to enter the iOS App Store sometime in November. Sometime in November. So I don't know if we have the specific date out yet, but sometime this month. And I certainly think that could pump up the stock a little bit. Certainly it could. Definitely, 100% it could pump up the stock. No question about it. That could be a big catalyst for us. Not guaranteed to be, but that could certainly be a good one. What I think the biggest catalyst will be, though, is Trump speaking about it, right? That seems to be what gets people moving, so I'm really hopeful for that. Oh, yeah, Silver says, all right, guys, watch out for this scam. People are sending out emails asking for money to get on DWAC's the Truth Social beta list. So do not send anyone money. They're all scams. Don't send any money to people. Okay, and looking at the view count, we've got 117 viewers and 49 likes. Let's see if we can't up that, maybe to 75 likes. If we just got 25 likes more, that could bump us up a little bit. So let's see if we can't bump up to 75 likes. It helps get some more people in the stream, and we can get more comments flowing in. I know we've already got a bunch of comments, a bunch of hype around Sundial and DWAC stock. People are commenting away, but if we could get a couple more likes on the stream, it would be appreciated. And Rocky Mountain Gobbler says, always scammers, it sucks. Yeah, I hate the scammers. And Silver says, just buy the stock if you're wanting to support. Yeah. Don't send money in any of those kind of scammy emails. You know, it's tough to tell sometimes. You know, I've gotten letters from health insurance providers, and it's tough to say if they're actually asking for real information or if they're just a scam. So you never know. You never know. And Seaborn Video Services, but I want to pay 2 Ethereum for early access to Truth Social. Yeah, sure. And Jack Wolf, Sundial looks down pre-market. Well, not quite. Sundial, if you look at the chart, we'll recount what happened with Sundial. So we pumped up big yesterday, or I shouldn't say yesterday, Friday, and then we ended up getting beaten down for most of the day until we made a nice V-shaped recovery. And come after hours, we actually got beaten down a little bit. However, in pre-market, we have mostly been rising, right? We have been trending up for the most part in pre-market. So pre-market's been looking good. After hours, on the other hand, we did get beaten down a touch, but we are on the rise. We haven't touched the lows of after hours yet. We haven't gotten too close to them. Well, yeah, we got within a cent, but we're looking good with Sundial stock, right? We're above 90 cents per share. We're actually bouncing off of 90 cents quite nicely. So Miguel Larios says Sundial is setting up nicely. I believe it is. It looks pretty good to me. And Ashtray, what is the Ortex data on Sundial? We will certainly take a peek at the Ortex on Sundial. This is the Ortex on Prog. So here's Sundial's Ortex data. And we just looked at this a moment ago, and you can see that shorts did end up entering Sundial a little bit more. We were looking at 314 million shares short, and now we're at 322 million, so a couple extra million shares have been shorted of Sundial, and as a percentage of the free float, that's 15%, 15.72, so almost 16% of the free float is short. Very high utilization, 98% utilization, and what's somewhat significant is 4.74 days to cover. So looking at Sundial's average volume, it would take shorts quite a few days to end up covering if they had to. So good morning, Ambition. Please look into GGPI. I will take a peek at this right here, GGPI. Gore's Guggenheim. Oh, yeah, this is the one that's on StockTwits. It's trending. It's the #1 ranker on StockTwits. You can see it right here. GGPI up 16% on the day, it looks like. So I don't know what the catalyst is. I just saw it when I was checking StockTwits this morning, but it is the #1 ranking stock on StockTwits. So this is an interesting one, it looks like. I'll take a peek at it more in depth in just a second. Let's see. It looks like Sundial's getting pushed down right before the bell. Right before the bell, people are trying. They're panicking. They're trying to push down Sundial. So let's see what happens. GGPI. I'll take a peek at that. And Safe Fadden, good morning. Good morning. So their profile. Okay, Sundial, already a ton of volume. And it's not moving us too much, but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Sundial, it's looking good so far, though I will say that's what we saw. That's what we saw on Friday, and we ended up getting beaten down after that. So we'll see what happens these first couple of bars for Sundial. DWAC moving up nicely. Looks like GGPI is starting to move up. So let's take a peek. Let me quickly look into GGPI and see who they're merging with. It looks like they're a SPAC. Let's see. Who are they merging with? Okay, is the rare EV spec that's not all talk. Okay, Sundial getting beaten down a touch. We're below 90 cents. Not what I'd like to see, but we can come back from this, right? We can come back. We got below 89, unfortunately. Oh, no, we're bouncing off of 89, it looks like. Hopefully, we'll bounce off of 89 with Sundial. That's what we're hoping for. So Gore's Guggenheim is the rare EV spec that's not all talk. Recently announced. Okay, that Polestar will be being acquired by GGPI. Nice. And options for Sundial are not expensive. It looks like we're getting a nice bounce off of 89 cents, hopefully getting us back up above 90. And looking at Sundial options, we've still got 219,000 open interest call options. They're not super expensive. They're not super expensive, I'll say. They're not super expensive. They're a little pricey, but not that bad. And Silver says they're shaking the fruit tree like a farmer. They certainly are. They certainly are. So, what's the price target for Sundial? Sundial rocket over $1, some people are saying. I'm hoping that we just shoot up over $1. I don't know, though. I don't know. We'll see. We're already getting big volume, and we're holding at 89 cents. So, if we can really hold there, that could be very good for us. If we continue making these higher lows that we have been over the course of pre-market, that would be very nice. It looks like we're starting to move up back to 90 cents, hopefully not getting bounced off of it. That wouldn't be nice to see. Let's get up above 90 cents. That's what I'm hoping for with Sundial. There we go. Very nice, very nice. Let's see if we can't make highs of intraday at 91. I'm liking this. This is a big green bar. This is what we were hoping for. Watch the on-balance volume, says Silver. I will. I might if I think I have to change this study or something. I will at some point mess around with a couple of those, but shake, rattle, and roll, says Acorn Sucks. And unique experiences, we should encourage retail to get a broker that can trade pre-market and aftermarket. That's how I have been making money. Yeah. So if you guys are interested in a broker, feel free to hit the link in the description for WeBull. You can get a broker that trades after hours, pre-market, and all that. So yeah, feel free to hit that WeBull description referral link. You get 2 free stocks valued up to $2,300, and Sundial is on the rise. Very nice stuff with Sundial. So still very similar to what we saw on Friday, right? We ended up on Friday seeing a little bit of a red bar and then a couple of green bars. Let's hope it doesn't go the way it did on Friday, where we followed this off with a bunch of red bars taking us down. Let's hope that's not the case. So Anastasia says, you're right, not super duper cheap, was thinking of OGI options. Let's take a peek at the OGI options real quick and hope that Sundial doesn't do anything crazy while we're not looking at it. But OGI options, yeah, these are pretty cheap, it looks like. Unfortunately, they trade in these 5-cent increments, it looks like. So, yeah, OGI, what are we trading at with OGI? 239, so the 250. Let me pull up OGI right here. So OGI, we do have potential with OGI to continue moving up on this Sundial news. However, Sundial is the stock that's really driving this rally in cannabis right now. Aurora is actually sinking. Sundial is rising. Let's see what TLRY is doing. Ooh, DWAC moving up over 61. Very nice. Sundial moving up over 92 cents. Very, very nice. Excited to see it. Let's try to get to $1. We're not that far off. We're only about 8 cents, 7.5 cents away. We don't have that much further to go. We could certainly pump up to $1 relatively quickly over the course of a couple of 30-minute blocks. I could see us getting up over $1, maybe even quicker than that. You know, if we get a bunch of buying pressure, if people start to look at this like a sure thing, like a win, we could certainly get up over $1 pretty soon. We're about to hit 93. So Sundial's moving, says Justin. It certainly is. It certainly is. Talk about how Sundial call options that will expire in the money from over $1, says Tyler Mike. So yeah, the call options. We'll take a peek at the call options real quick for Sundial. But currently, the call options are selling for between 8 and 9 cents per contract, right? So multiply that by 100, you're looking at 80 or 90 bucks per contract that you're buying. So not super expensive. Not super expensive. Sundial has to get up by November 19th over $1.09 per share for you to be profitable, for you to be break even, actually, I should say. And it looks like a lot of people are making that bet, and it's not necessarily a bad bet to make if you don't have the most capital to just buy the shares. We could certainly see a gamma squeeze. However, I would almost rather see right now, people buying Sundial shares to push the price up to over $1 because we've already got quite a few call options out there, which hopefully will give us a little bit of a gamma squeeze if we can get and hold above $1 without getting pushed down. However, what we need is for Sundial's price to rise, and it looks like we're doing that fairly well right now. We're above where we opened. We're above 90 cents where we opened, so it's looking good. The fact that we're above 90, that we're not just crashing like we have on all of these other Sundial pumps is very encouraging. I'm really excited to see that. Now, I will point out we've got 149 viewers and about 73 likes, so half the people watching the stream have liked it. If we could get a little bit closer to 100 likes, that would be much appreciated. We'll see if we can't get Sundial to pump up. And I hate begging for likes, though you guys wouldn't know it based off of listening to the streams, because I certainly do it a lot, but it really does help the stream get out to some more people. And Anastasia says, does WeBull do full extended hours trading? I do not believe they do. I think TD Ameritrade does. I believe TD Ameritrade does. But WeBull, I'm not so sure about them. I don't think they might. They honestly might. Let me see. Let's see if WeBull does. Well, let me look that up over here, actually. Does WeBull offer full extended hours trading? So, WeBull, full extended hours, it says, at webull.com. All right. Okay. It looks like they do. That's cool. So, full extended hours trading on WeBull, and it looks like we got a little bounce off of 90 cents on Sundial. Hopefully, we don't start to move below that. I'm really hoping that we'll see this be the last time we hit 90 cents. Obviously, that's going to be tough to do. We're going to need some buyers to step in and start buying up Sundial shares, which might be a tough sell for some people. Despite the good earnings news, we are up. Let's see what percentage we're up by over the past couple of days. We're up about 40%. So 40% gain over a couple of days on this good news. It might be tough to get real big buyers coming in. We got to get retail on our side. I think that's what's really going to move Sundial, and we certainly did get over 100 likes. I appreciate that, guys, very much. Thank you. So looking at Sundial stock, let me refresh this Google Trends data and see what we've got. You can see people are still very interested in Sundial stock, right? Obviously, we hit peaks last time we were pumping, right on Friday. This is a 7-day chart of Sundial stock search data on Google. And we are still very far above where we were on days that Sundial was just, a typical Sundial day. We would get to rankings at highs of 26, and we just hit highs of 48 in the morning. We'll see what we can do at 9, during the course of this hour once we fully update this data. We're at 43 right now, but not quite at 100, which, obviously Sundial was getting a lot more press. A lot more people were looking into Sundial yesterday, or Friday, I suppose. Let's see what we're doing, though, on StockTwits. It looks like we've moved up a little bit since I last looked. We've moved up to number 9. We were at number 10 earlier. A lot of these cryptos are likely going to come down to move off of the most active list because they typically rise over the weekends when, cryptos are the only things trading. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Sundial. I do expect it'll be moving up on StockTwits ranking-wise over the course of the day. I think that people will be getting into it. And what we really, really want is for Sundial to be moving up on Reddit and Wall Street Bets, right? We're up 202% over the past 24 hours. Obviously, people are posting about it now that it's the weekday instead of the weekend. We've got 139 mentions of it on Reddit and 1,300 upvotes. I think we can do better. Tesla's at 379 mentions and 4,700 upvotes. So I really think that there ought to be a lot more people on Reddit posting about Sundial. I think that's what would really help this thing pump up if we could get a meme stock like Surge in it, right? If we could get some of the apes from AMC to come on over. That would be nice. Sambers Hurt Me Not says WeBull does allow full extended hours trading, but you have to click that when you initiate the trade. Default is just business hours. Yeah, I believe that's the case. So Joseph Ignello, Prog up 10%. Ooh, let's take a peek. Prog stock, yeah, we're up 9.93%. Oh yeah, we just shot over 320. Very nice. Very nice for Prog stock. Awesome. Awesome move on Prog. Very cool. So hopefully, it looks like people are realizing that time is of the essence with Prog. People are buying it up, trying to get us up above $4 at least above 350, so that these call options can expire in the money. 29,000 at 350, 32,000 at 4. It looks like people are trying to get those in the money. Obviously, you know, if you've been holding those over the past couple of days, you've probably lost some value to time. The time value just kind of got destroyed in there. But really, what we're hoping for is that we'll be surging much higher than 4. So hopefully these will become profitable for people who have bought them. But that is yet to be seen, right? We haven't actually gotten up above for the past couple of days. So past while it's been since we've gotten up above 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trading days. So all of last week. We'll see if we can't do it this week. So Noble says, not sure if you've looked into it at all, but is there any truth to Prog being in the Wyckoff pattern? I've heard of the Wyckoff pattern. Let me take a peek. I typically don't look at patterns like that, but I'll take a peek and see what it looks like. Typically, I think they're just a little bit more complicated than they need to be. I tend to rely more on support and resistance levels that are pretty clear-cut, and the patterns, maybe an algorithm's using them somewhat effectively. So let's pull this up in a new tab and pull up a nice picture of the Wyckoff pattern. Open a new tab right here. Or geez, all right. How do you open up a new window with just the picture? This is Google used to be very convenient and would show you. Well, here we can just pull up this site and let's get rid of these ads. These ads are horrible. Okay, here we go. And Sundial making a move above 93 cents, but the Wyckoff pattern right here. So kind of, I guess. It looks a little bit like Prog's chart. We can take a peek at the 30-day. Maybe even the 90-day would be better. So let's see how that, let's see how that compares to the Wyckoff pattern. It looks like, all right, accumulation markup, then distribution to mark down. Kind of, I guess you could say, but not too closely. I don't know. It doesn't. I wouldn't even rely on that pattern too much. I'm not sure of how reliable it is. Maybe it's really great, but I tend to not rely on those patterns because they're so complex, and then they're not guaranteed to work, right? So you're looking at maybe like even if they are reliable, maybe like a 70% efficacy rate, and they're already so complex. You have to decide if they're in the pattern or not. Anyways, it doesn't quite seem worth it to me, but Alvaro Coleco, hey Rob, TLRY is moving up. Yeah, certainly is. Let's take a peek at TLRY. Yeah, TLRY up 6% on the day, more than Sundial actually. Sundial's up 0.76%. So, we're looking at green in the cannabis space. ACB is up 0.65. DWAC holding above 60 quite nicely. Very good to see. We opened at 60 and we haven't been below since. So good stuff on DWAC. But yeah, TLRY is certainly moving up, even though we had a big red bar at one point. We just couldn't get pushed down. Looks like 1320 held pretty well. So we're starting to move up. Maybe we'll hit up $14 at some point. Hopefully we will. And so use Fibonacci. Yeah, I've heard of Fibonacci. A lot of people like Fibonacci. So let's see. I think it's in the drawings. Fibonacci. Where is it? Yep, here we go. We could use Fibonacci on Sundial. I believe you start at the peak of where it pumped up to, and then you run it down to the lows. So, shoot, that's the wrong chart I was going to use it on. So I don't typically use it, but I do see people use it from time to time, and I believe we would do it from here to here. And then we just get a bunch of lines that Sundial may or may not react to. It looks like, sure, we at close ended up bouncing off of this line, but why not any of the others? It just what I don't like about Fibonacci is it seems to just offer far too many lines where it could potentially work, and it works at one, and people get confirmation bias and say it's working. Maybe it is. I really like support and resistance because those are pretty clear cut, and it does typically work at the support and resistance levels. So we'll see. And let me get rid of this. line right there. Not too important what we've got, but we're up above 94 cents now with Sundial, just soaring up towards $1. Traders are trying to take this above $1. And Ichimoku, says Zach Taylor, certainly. I did forget to look at Ichimoku over the weekend. I was a little busy, I was traveling a bit this weekend, so I didn't end up looking at the study, but it did look promising from that link that you sent. So, and from that picture where you had all those buy signals on Sundial, those looked pretty good. That looked pretty promising. Obviously, it's easy to cherry pick an example where it works, but I'd be curious to put it on a chart and see how it works for me. D-Ron says, good morning, Rob. Hope you had a good weekend, brother. IDEX earnings after could be explosive. Blink had good earnings, beat last week. Well, good morning, D-Ron. Hope you had a good weekend as well. And yeah, IDEX, Ideanomics, I believe. We'll take a peek at that one. So yeah, they've got their earnings coming up. That could be something that pops them off. And Seashells and Dreams says Sundial. Yeah, Sundial is doing incredibly well, up over 94 cents. I'm very excited about that. And what was the other one? Blink. Probably BLNK. Blink charging point. Okay, there we go. Blink, what do you say about it? Blink had good earnings beat last week. Yep. So let's take a peek. Yeah, they are up. They are trending up on their earnings, it looks like. So we'll see what happens today. They're still up on the day. They're up 0.46%. And maybe this is another run-up for them. Maybe this will be a nice run-up that could take them up above 45. We'll see. We'll see what happens with Blink. Nicholas Morello, Rob, ticker best is going to 10x. It's the UPS of China, and they just sold a quarter of their company for 1.1 billion. 0.6 billion cash, 0.5 billion to pay off their debt. Their market cap is only 0.5 billion. Wow. Ticker symbol best. I would have assumed Best Buy is best, but Best Inc. ADR. Wow. That sounds really promising if they have more cash than their market cap. Let's take a look at them on Market Watch right here. I'm surprised that Best Buy didn't have the best market cap that they should have. So, yeah, $498 million market cap. And holding company which engages in the smart supply chain service, operates through the following business segments: express delivery, freight delivery, supply chain management, global logistics services, and U-Cargo services. Nice. So yeah, this could be a good one, Best. I'll look more into the. I'll mark this one down and I'll look more into it. I'll just put it down right here, and that'll remind me to take a peek at Best at some point. It looks like they did just take a big dump, unfortunately. So they've got earnings coming up. It could be a good one. And Shadow Girl says, hi, I like your hairstyle. I appreciate that. And Acorn Sucks says, but what you see. I'm not sure what that's in response to, though. Noble H. Prog, here's a link for the chart style picture of Wyckoff accumulation that I had seen. Similarly, Prog, the picture is about halfway down the page. And unfortunately, Noble, I think that they censor out the link. So there is no link that showed up with that message. So that's unfortunate, but yeah, that's probably for the best that they don't end up allowing links in the comment section. I'm sure that bots would have taken over the comment section long ago if they did allow links. So Joseph Agnello says, I was trading Blink when it was $2. BLNK. Let's see what's it. Oh, wow. So it's done very well since then. A nice 20x on that on Blink. And Tesla is a joke, says Joseph Agnello. Let's see what Tesla's doing. Oh, down below 1,000. Yep. Well, fortunately, I had a little bit of Tesla in a swing account, and I did end up selling for, I think, 1040 or something like that, fearing more of Musk selling, right? So, obviously, I'm still holding Tesla in the long-term account, but I did end up getting out of my swing on Tesla for a nice profit. And if you guys are interested in following me on Public, if you guys have Public, the brokerage, you can see a couple of my trades. I don't use it too often, but every now and then I'll enter a little swing. I'm currently in Sundial on that one. But Silver says, talk to my nephew who is a freshman in college. He said most of the millennials are getting trading accounts. Good to see them preparing for the future. Yeah, that is good. That's very nice that people are starting trading and investing also at a younger age, right? That's very important, I think, to have some savings and not to be, in a situation where you could be in trouble if you all of a sudden needed some cash. It's nice to have some cash on hand. So Abstract says, is Sundial going to explode today? Well, it's certainly looking good, right? The fact that we made intraday highs is, in fact, this is the high. Well, not quite the highest. If we get up to 96 cents, this will be the highest we've been intraday since this pump began. And we have to get up above 98 to be at all-time, we have to get up above $1 to be at the all-time highs of this pump. But it's certainly looking good, right? The fact that we didn't just get a big sell-off, that we are slowly trending up, this is looking very good for Sundial. So I am excited about this. And Acorn Sucks says, Tesla below 1,000, there she goes. Yeah, that's what it's looking like, down 3.34%. Today might be a Musk selling day. And Seashells and Dream says, get your $1 call options for Sundial. Let's take a peek at the $1 call option, see what they're selling for right now. So in between 9 and 10 cents, so it has moved up. So, if you had been buying them for between, I think it was 8 and 9, you might be making a little profit here. A decently sized profit. If it goes up to $1, then you're making a pretty good percentage of your money. There's no guarantee that it will, though. Obviously, if Tesla stagnated and just sat here for the next week, you'd be losing money on the call options, and then it could explode. It could go to, $5, and you'd have nothing to show for it. So there is some risk, right? There's the risk that Sundial may stagnate for a little bit. I don't think that's too big of a risk. I do expect that we'll continue moving up. We're up almost 1% on the day, which isn't the greatest. But the fact that we were downtrending in after hours and turned it into an uptrend come pre-market, that's looking pretty good. So I'm excited about that, and that we have been continually making new highs and higher lows as well. So I'm excited for Sundial. And Abstract says, IDK, how to do options. And Joseph, $5 super chat, keep it up. He says, I certainly will. Thank you very much, Joseph. I appreciate it. And Abstract, how to do options. I will give you a quick explanation on how to do options for what they are and all that. So I'm not sure if you just mean you don't know how to buy them, but options essentially, if you say, look at these $1 call options on Sundial stock. You have the $1 call for the November 19th strike date. So if you buy this for really it'll cost 100 times more than the price you see listed here, because every call option or every option is for 100 shares of stock. So I think it would be for between $8 and $9 that you could buy these contracts, since they're 8 or 9 cents each. So $8 or $9, you could buy one contract, and that essentially gives you the right to buy 100 shares of Sundial stock for $1. So you can buy them for $1. And obviously, you wouldn't want to do that right now, because Sundial, it looks like, just took a big dump and is trading at 90 cents right now. But it lets you do that until November 19th. So if by November 19th Sundial is trading above $1, you could buy those shares, right? You could buy 100 shares of Sundial stock for $1. If it was trading at 150, that would be a nice profit you'd be making. So people buy these with the hopes that the price will rise, say to $2, and then they can buy it for $1. And they'll have made a big profit because they only paid $8 for the right to do that, and they don't have to risk a ton of capital buying a million shares of stock. They just buy a couple of these options, and you can also trade the options, right? You could say buy them for 8 cents, and then they might be trading for 10 cents later on, and you could just kind of trade them like that. But that's what people are doing with options. So Ziggy says, great explanation. Yeah, I appreciate that. Hopefully it was a decent explanation. Not the best. I'm sure I could do much better if I had a chance to write out a little script or something and made a video purely on that. But Silver says, options scare me because of folks whose job is solely to move markets in big swings. Yeah, the options, sometimes they can be a little manipulated. Sometimes you see, if institutions are selling these options, they may try to hold the price below $1 so that these all expire worthless, because you're oftentimes paying the institutions who are just selling these call options to you for the right to do it, and if it expires below $1, then it's worth $0 at the end of that date. So by November 19th, if Sundial is not above $1, these contracts that you're paying $8 or $9 a pop for will be worth $0. So there is decent risk in that. And thanks, bro, says Abstract. You're welcome, man. Now we're looking at 150 viewers and 118 likes. I hate doing it, guys, but if we could pump that up to maybe 130 likes, that would be very cool, very appreciated. And Mark says, Gomez Sip. Mark Gomez Sip. just get longer calls for cheaper. So yeah, that's definitely a way that people trade options. That's how I tend to prefer trading them. So you could say, look at the January 19th of 2024 call options. You could see that you could pay $48 or $49 for a call option for a $1 strike price call option. So much more than 8 or 9 cents. However, this much more than $8 or $9, right? So you're paying $8 or $9 for a November 19th strike date, and you're paying $49 or $50 for a January 19th of 2024 strike date. However, these options expire in 1 week. The 19th of November is in about a week from now. It's the end of the week, really. And these January 24 call options don't expire for years. So you do pay much more, but you have much longer for the stock to actually do what you want it to do and move up. So just like says Abstract, I appreciate it. So Nicholas Morello, Rob, have you thoughts about the potential of Virgin Galactic patents? Virgin's launch, the rocket patents allow for cheaper and safer launches. I think it's the future of space launches. Can't say I've heard about that, but let's take a look at SPCE. So it looks like they're up a little bit on this news. Looks like they're having trouble right around here, but they are starting to move up. So let's see, space patents. Okay. So, billionaire space race between Bezos and Branson. I'm not seeing anything. When did the patents come out? I've not seen anything about the patents too recently. I'm not seeing anything on Google about it, but let's see over the past week if there's any patent news. Okay, maybe this is it. Holds 0 registered patents, but licenses a patent from maybe they recently got it, but if they have patents for space flight technology, that sounds good for them. Zach Taylor, anyone else ready for these X tickers to get the heck out of the top 10 trending on Twits? Yeah, I'm ready for it. Let's take a peek at what StockTwits is doing right now. We need to get those cryptos out of there. We need to get the real stocks in. We need Sundial moving up. That'll take a little bit though. It'll take some time. We'll see though. Hopefully, well, I'll pull off StockTwits right now, but let's see what people are saying about Sundial on StockTwits. So Sundial, hidden buyer, someone says. It was wrong to fight it, better to control it. About Sundial. Sundial, I believe, has a gap to fill before $1, waiting on sidelines for a better entry. Okay, so some people are waiting to see Sundial, it looks like, fill the gap down to 70 cents. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't think we're really going to fill that gap too soon. I don't think, maybe, but I don't think that would happen. So, Sundial, break that powerful pinata pattern. It looks like we're starting to move down. We're getting close to 90 cents again. Hopefully we won't actually hit it, but we might. Sundial, let's go hodlers. That's what people are saying on StockTwits. So people are excited about Sundial. So Bezos talking up Elysium idea. The movie Elysium? I hope not. I just watched that, actually. Ashtray, 90% of gaps get filled. Hopefully it's the 10%. Oof. That sounds scary to me, man. Don't like the sound of it. I mean, obviously, eventually gaps get filled. We'll see. We'll see what happens with it. Hopefully it is the 10%, though. And Abstract says, I don't think Sundial will drop below 80 cents. Yeah, I don't think it will. It's held very well at 80 last time, right? We bounced off of 80 very nicely. We're going to see if we can't make highs today. We're down 2% on the day. I don't like to see it. I don't like to see Sundial being beaten down like this. It's unfortunate. It looks like the other cannabis stocks, let's see what TLRY is doing, but Aurora, at least, is also starting to move down. I don't like to see that. Yeah, so a couple of these are getting beat. DWAC holding above 60 nicely. It looks like we dipped below very briefly. Now we're back up above 60. Oligarch Jeff, says Anastasia. Yeah, it's that kind of a situation. I think, unfortunately. If any of you have seen Elysium, or if you haven't seen it, I'll briefly tell you. It's basically like there's a big space station where all the rich people live and leave all the poor people behind on Earth. And it's not a good situation for the poor people on Earth. And Elysium is like this paradise and all that. So It sounds like that's what Jeff Bezos is trying to do. Hopefully he doesn't end up doing it. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But what I hope for even more is that Sundial pumps. So we're hopefully going to see a move off of 90 cents. It looks like we're sticking above 90. Looks like there's some pressure to stay above 90. Unfortunately, well, volume is decent, honestly. Volume's not that bad compared to what it used to be. We are still looking at relatively high volume, right? Even though it's not that much compared to what we saw on Friday. How can you expect it to be when the earnings call came out right then? And Matthias P. Sundial perfect reversal at 78.6% on the Fibonacci. Maybe I'll start looking at Fibonacci's more. Let's take a peek. I believe we're trying to use it on... correct me if I'm wrong, because I do not use Fibonacci's all that often, but I believe we would start up here at the peak and then take it down to the pit. Is that how we would do the Fibonacci? Let's see. So, if I'm not mistaken, maybe we would do it the other way. Maybe we would take it from where it started pumping and then moved it up here. I don't know. I really don't use Fibonacci all that often. Maybe this is it. 78.6. Nah, that's probably not it. Yeah, I should look into how to use Fibonacci, but I tend to rely more on support and resistance. So Gates has the farmland, joining Cheney and Buffett for power plant in Wyoming, Bezos and Elysium talks. What is the Great Society up to? All right, I took from the bottom to top, says Matthias B. Okay, so the bottom, so down here I assume, down to 63 cents or something like that. Or up here, I don't know. So, Abstract says, I used to have CRTM. After the reversal split, it started tanking, so I sold it. Well, let's see. CRTM. CTRM, my bad. CTRM. I thought so. All right, Castor Maritime. Yeah, this one's been tanking for a bit. This one's been moving down. Yeah, I think I might have been in this one too. I think we might have looked at this at some point on the channel. Let me take a peek at the Robinhood and see if I have any history for CTRM. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it wasn't CTRM. I don't know. I was in one of those oil or one of those mining or sorry, not mining, transporting companies, right? I believe this is a shipping company, if I'm not mistaken. So Sundial up to 91.7. It looks like we had a nice bounce off of 90 after all. Hopefully going to be taking us higher. Obviously, you know, we can't discount the fact that there is some volatility involved in Sundial. Hopefully, though, we will be seeing this start to trend up a little bit, right? I'd rather that we be trending up than stagnating. But honestly, stagnation might be the best that we can expect right now, just while some people start to take profits while we wait to start trending a little bit higher on Reddit, which is what we're really looking for. And it's actually looking good for us. We moved up to spot number 5 on Reddit. So we're now beating out GameStop. We now have the same amount of mentions as GameStop, but more upvotes. So we are on the upshoot with Sundial growers on Reddit. So good stuff. That's good to see. Hopefully we can get that up to number 1 on Reddit. That would be the ideal situation for us. I would like to see it, but it could take a little bit of time. Reddit, you know, people have to post and all that. It will take some time. And Mark Gomez Sip. So Sundial already 100 million daily volume. Yeah, it is. It is getting a ton of volume. You know, every minute we're getting a couple million, or you know, depending on the time, we're getting somewhere between. We've actually started moving down in volume as of these past couple of bars, but it used to be that we were getting over 1 million each time for the most part. So, oof, not loving the look of this. Not loving the look. You know, the fact that we're down 1.49% isn't ideal. It's not horrible. Really, you know, every other time Sundial is pumped, we've been down a lot more. I think what it might take is a little bit of consolidation to convince investors to start getting in to Sundial stock, right? If they see that we're not just dumping as we have done in the past, every time, if you look at the past year, pretty much every time we've started pumping up. In fact, the 180-day chart is a little bit better for this, but we have tried to pump up a couple of times and just got shot down. And, you know, a lot of these pumps end up just becoming nothing. We end up just getting shot down right after we pump up. So hopefully Sundial will not follow that same pattern. It looks like we've already beaten that pattern a little bit. The fact that we did start to move down and then move back up and that we're near the all-time highs of this pump is very nice. And Sundial already 100 million. So Jason Beck, Clove finally moving. We'll take a peek at Clove. We have looked at Clove a lot on the channel in the past. Up 4%. Nice to see. That's nice to see. Good stuff. And Constantine Tamas, please stop smacking. I know I do that as it's an accident. I will say, you know, I don't do it intentionally. Unfortunately, that does just automatically happen sometimes. So I will try to control that. And Zach Taylor says, I bet Elon is selling so he can buy DWAC. I hope he is. That would be nice to see. I hope he's buying DWAC and Sundial. That would be great. And it's Nebula. Check the 5-minute chart. Amazing wedge on Sundial, I believe. Okay, so let's see if we can't get Sundial moving up a little bit. You know, let's see if we can't do it on the 5-minute chart. I'm just hoping that we hold 90 cents, right? If we hold 90, that'll, I think, encourage some people to start getting in on Sundial. We'll see if we can do it. And Elon is selling to buy Doge, says Abstract. Let's see what Tesla's doing. You know, I'm curious what Tesla's at right now. Yeah, it looks like we're just continuing to trend down a little bit. It's a tough day for Tesla, right? Yeah, all of this Elon selling news is why I ended up getting out of my Tesla swing. I fortunately did it at a higher price than this. We'll see. We'll see if that was a good decision or not, if Tesla just starts shooting back. But hopefully it ended up being a good choice and we can get down. Maybe, oh, well, you know what? Speaking of filling gaps, it looks like we might have a gap to fill from 950 to 900. So we'll see with Sundial. Maybe we will fill that gap. Hopefully not over the long term. You know, I'd rather almost that we fill it right now than later on. But you know, if we could very well continue shooting up like Tesla did, and then fill the gap in a couple of weeks or months, but that would mean Sundial would then have to fall in the future, which I'd rather it not if I'm holding some for the long term. So Tyler Mike says, would going over $1 create a short squeeze on Sundial? I don't believe $1 would, because if you look, well, we can pull it up on Ortex also, but if you look, a lot of these shorts were building up their positions. If you look at this yellow line, it's the short interest is a percentage of the free float. A lot of them increased their positions when Sundial was trading for around 139, 149, 150. So, you know, some were surely shorting when this thing was below $1, but a lot of them were shorting when it was above $1. So shorts have a way to go before they're actually in a ton of pain. That's why we're hoping to get some kind of gamma squeeze. Hopefully, Sundial will be getting gamma squeeze. Let's take a peek. So 219,000 open interest call options. If we can get above $1, that's what would gamma squeeze us. If we can hold above there until November 19th, right? Obviously, shorts don't have to cover until we hit that expiration date, right? They don't actually have to cover until then. Maybe there will be some limitations and some requirements posted on them by their brokerages, but what we're hoping for is to get above $1 and hold there until November 19th, which could raise the price even more. To get a short squeeze, I mean, it's tough to say, right? If shorts aren't out of the money, if not all of shorts are down on money until like $1.50, we could get to like $2 maybe before we start short squeezing a big deal. I don't know. Obviously, some shorts might start covering prematurely, right? Some shorts might not be down on money. It's really tough to say what the shorts are going to do, if they're going to start covering before or after $1. Maybe some will see that we're getting close and they'll want to start covering. Maybe some will wait until we get to $1.10, $1.20. Maybe some will just hold out until they actually get margin called because they think that this thing is going to tank. And, you know, it might. It looks like we're dipping below 90 cents per share right now, which isn't ideal. Not great to say. So Zach Taylor, press conference at 2 p.m. for state's Cannabis Reform Act. Nice. Yeah, and rough stuff. Just because someone mentioned smacking, it's all I hear now. We all got ticks for yeah. Yeah, I'll try. I know. I feel like I'm doing it more now because someone mentioned it. Kitch realized that you're gonna make this dude self-conscious. Yeah, I'm trying not to be, but now I'm hearing it a lot too. And Silver says if it gets back to 125 or 130, they will jump it to smash it back. Very possibly, yeah. I think that, yeah. Obviously, shorts are not going to want this thing moving up above to like 150 or anything like that. Hopefully they just use up all their ammo, right? We can see already, if we look at the Ortex on Sundial, we have a 0.95% increase in the short interest. So let's refresh this just to make sure that everything is up to date and accurate. 324.99 million shares short and 98% utilization. So obviously the utilization isn't as up to date. It doesn't update minute by minute or anything like that. So we'll have to wait until probably tomorrow to see what this brings us to. But shorts hopefully will use up all of their ammo before they actually, before we end up getting above $1. And that means they might not have much to push us down with. So, Noble says, Prog, sorry I'm still on this all. Wyckoff accumulation phases, AE is what I was referring to. It seems like it is actually based off of resistance and support levels. Prog, it would certainly be in phase C where it broke through support recently. Hopefully it will follow and go up, up, up. I hope so. And so does Kevin. Kevin Knight says, I hope you're right, Noble. So, yeah, it looks like, well, we are moving up, up, up for sure. We're up 12% on the day. That's great stuff with Prog. Getting up above 320. I like to see it. So, good stuff there. I'm just hoping that Sundial doesn't crash on us, right? We're really holding this 90-cent level nicely, it looks like. But it is a tenuous situation. At any point, we really could start moving down a little bit, which I don't like to see. I don't like to see that we keep hitting 90 cents. So, we'll see what happens. But 90 cents is certainly a crucial level for us. And, it could be that 90 cents ends up being what sends us much higher, right? If we end up holding that well, if people don't end up selling at 90, if we don't tank below, if we show that we have a new support level at 90 cents as opposed to, our past one was looking to be around 70 cents, which we did end up breaking through a couple of times. But we certainly saw some resistance at 70. A couple of times we would get bounced off of it. And 70 is really where we were sitting before this big news popped us off to 90 cents. So I'm hoping that 90 cents will take up the mantle of 70, start acting as support. And Constantine Thomas Cybro, giving you a like, I'm dealing with it. I appreciate that. I'm going to try to. I have tried to. I certainly used to do it a lot more in the past. And when I first started making YouTube videos, I will say, I noticed I did it quite a bit. So I have already curbed it a little bit. But I will curb it even more. It's real funny. My roommate and I, one of my roommates at least, just did again. But he and I definitely, when we get to talking, it's back and forth. One of our friends recorded us one time, and all you could hear were the smacks. So, Abstract says my average cost is 70 cents. I'm thinking of swinging it, but I'm scared to lose shares. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. So you're already in it at 70 cents and you're scared to sell out. I know it's tough to say, right? I mean, with the fact that I forget who brought up the fact that 90% of gaps get filled. I don't know if that was like a hard statistic or what. I think it was Ashtray, that 90% of gaps get filled. So hopefully this one doesn't. Hopefully we're one of the 10%. But I am also scared to lose shares, right? I have on this 2,000 here, and I've got a couple over 10,000 on my Robinhood. So, I don't want to lose any shares of Sundial either, right? I'd rather let this thing ride out and get up. But Rick says, I think Sundial long term is a good position. I agree. I'm definitely holding some for the long term. I think that we'll probably continue to do very well with Sundial. DWAC holding above 60 fairly well. We're holding above 60. Hopefully we can't. Hopefully we don't dip down below, right? We already did earlier today. And it's looking like we lost some momentum, but, that's what we're expecting with DWAC. We're just waiting for the big catalyst to come out. So maybe it'll be the beta launch. Maybe it'll be Trump speaking on it. But whatever gets it moving, I'm happy for. So Sundial is in a similar situation, right? We've moved up a little bit. Now we're back down to 90 cents. This one's a little different. This one's still this one is a little bit different. It's still very fresh from its recent pump up, so there is potential that it will continue moving up. You can see that we are getting pretty close to the highs, right? The highs of $1, granted those happened on fairly low volume in pre-market, so we'll see. We've got a lot more volume coming in now. In the pre-market, it was tough to stop it from. So, Abstract Artemis, I did my first live stream on Friday night, and when I watched the replay, I noticed my tick coming through. It's tough live streaming, I'll say that. You got to be on point the whole time, and I'm certainly noticing the smacking a little bit more. I don't know if I always did it this much, but I don't think so. I want to say I didn't. All right, so Sundial, looks like we might Tesla 988. Oh, geez, Tesla's moving down. Not great for the long-term portfolio, but not bad for the swing count, right? That I ended up selling my Tesla shares in earlier. So happy to see that. Sundial and other similar stocks are a hold for me until federal legalization is the catalyst that pumps these way up. Yeah, same here. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting, and we can take a peek at the legalization bill that's in the news. So the one that we're talking about is right here, and we've pulled this up a couple of times. Republican-led bill to legalize and tax marijuana emerges as alternative to Democratic measures. So it's looking like we may end up getting legalization fairly soon. We could see legalization. A new Republican-led congressional marijuana legalization bill, as imminent marijuana moment has learned. The measure has been framed by advocates as a compromise between simple descheduling, as proposed by other GOP lawmakers, and wide-ranging comprehensive legalization that Democratic leaders are championing. So the bill is being led by Representative Nancy Mace, a Republican from South Carolina, and it's titled the States Reform Act. Let's see. So under the rules of the bill, cannabis would be federally descheduled and treated in a manner similar to alcohol. A 3.75% excise tax would be imposed on cannabis sales, and revenue would support community reentry, law enforcement, and SBA aid for newly licensed businesses. Let's take a peek at Sundial. All right. Raw cannabis is regulated by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. The legislation, this is important, would grandfather in existing state-licensed cannabis operators. So they don't want to mess with the way states are currently running things. And let's see, SBA would treat it similar to how it treats alcohol, all right, and it would have a mandatory 21 age limit. So here's the important part. People with certain federal cannabis convictions that were non-violent would be eligible for expungement. So it would be letting out some people who were incarcerated due to cannabis-related crimes if they weren't violent. So this is looking like a promising bill. They are currently, I'll point out, they're currently circulating it around stakeholders. So it's currently being circulated among stakeholders for feedback and is therefore preliminary. So they're really just giving it to lobbyists and letting lobbyists look at it and put in what they want, which is fine. That's how the government works. But a final version is expected to be officially filed later this month. Now, that could actually be a big catalyst for Sundial, right? For all the cannabis stocks. So if they end up, posting the bill and it looks good and it's official and it's really in the House, I believe that's where it'll be premiering, then that could be really good for Sundial and all the cannabis stocks. That certainly could raise them up quite a bit. And Abstract says, my state was the first to legalize cannabis use. Nice. And Silver, if the infrastructure and spending bill pass, marijuana is going to be used as a, hey, we can afford it even more from the tax revenues play. It might be. Noble says, seems pretty good initially. And Andy Marcius, luckily I'm from Texas, it's probably going to be the last state, or Florida. Yeah, it could be one of the last. I mean, if they legalize it federally, then I guess the states could still put a ban on it if they wished. I don't know if they would or why they would. It seems like at this point we've had most of the people. Let's see. Let's actually pull up a poll. We'll get some real data in here. get a poll going. So another poll shows majority support for marijuana legalization, including most Republicans. That's what we've got here 7 days ago. So here we go. So Rasmussen reports asked Americans if they support national legalization of marijuana, and 62% of respondents said yes. One or more of the most notable Democrats was Republicans, 54% of whom said they back legalization, and 68% of Democrats, and I don't know if we have any independents. So about half, 47% of people said the federal government should be in charge of legalizing cannabis, 32% said the states should decide, and 11% favored local action on reform. All right. So now what we have it here, though, people are, Weed Poll says, let's do a poll. All right, let's do our own poll. Should we legalize cannabis? Should we federally? Yes and no. That's what we'll have. We'll do a weed poll right now. All right, here we go. And Andy says, I want to buy a pack of weeds like a pack of cigarettes. So if you want, you can vote in the poll right here. Should we federally legalize cannabis? There are two options, yes or no. And I'm curious to see what the people in the chat are saying. I'm guessing it'll probably be skewed towards yes, since a lot of people are watching this because they want Sundial stock to go up. So we've already got 14 votes, 100% yes. I'm liking this crowd. 90. Oh, we got a no here. We got a no. Some people don't think so. Some people think no. But we'll see what happens with Sundial stock while we watch this. So it looks like there are a couple of people saying no. 34 votes, 94% yes, 6% no. I did as soon as I voted. It's at 100%. And Deborah says, legal here in Massachusetts. Nice. All right. So yesterday, the world's largest cannabis ETF bought a huge chunk of Sundial. Can we talk about that? Let's take a look at that. Okay, let's take a look. So when did that happen? Yesterday. So I should find it if it looks over the past 24 hours maybe. No, we'll have to go to the past week maybe to find that. Which ETF was it? And Diamond Joe says, hey, Rob, yes, we need it legalized. Don't want that money. Don't you want that money? Yeah, I think it would certainly help with money as well. So Ohio would be just corn and weeds, says Constance T. Thomas. Yeah, it could be. At least we aren't barcoding anymore. Yeah, it's nice to see that Sundial's starting to move up a little bit. I'm liking that. Hopefully we'll continue this uptrend. We're agreeing on the date. It's very good to see that we have been sticking above 90 cents pretty well, right? Every time we've dipped down, we've come back in a fairly strong way. So I'm very excited about that. And Stephen Owinski says, Almazy for Congress. I would not want to run for public office or anything like that. So definitely not the way it works. Hey, Rob, says Christopher, are you still holding DWAC? Certainly am. We got it right here. We got the 150 shares at the average price of $24.18, up $5,400, $54.63, and made $200 on the day on it. So still holding my DWAC. And Abstract says, ever since Colorado made it legal, the economy boosted. Yep. So everyone would grow, and there would be a food shortage, said Nicholas Morel. JK says, yeah, that's funny. And there already is a food shortage, says Kitchener Leslie. Yeah, depending on the type of food. Some of the meats I've noticed have been running a little bit low. All right. So it looks like out of the poll, we've got 58 votes so far. 91% say yes, 9% say no. I tend to, take a more libertarian standpoint with these kind of things. I don't think we should make anything illegal, really. I don't really think we should make things illegal. And Andy Marcia says, yeah, I saw your video during the weekend and went, I have Some of those I bought at 70 cents, just like Abstract. And Diamond Joe noticing the meat scarcity. Yeah. Yep. Well, I will give my 2 cents. I think I would probably vote yes, we should legalize it in this poll. Just because I don't agree with, having too many laws. I don't like laws. I think they limit people a little bit too much. Let people make their own mistakes. That's what I think. But, everyone's entitled to their opinion. So that's fine. That's fine for what we got. So 65 votes, 92% yes, 8% no. Interesting to see. Now I'm curious, if anyone who's saying no is in Sundial stock. I'm curious. I was going to ask where you stand, Rob. You're against? No, I'm for. I'm for it. Let's go Rob, says Mort. No rules for the win. I agree. Yeah, I don't like rules that much. I don't like rules. So, and Silver says, an eagle has a left wing and a right wing to fly well. Mixture of left, middle, and right policies is where we need to be at. Maybe. And Diamond Joe, appreciate you following Sundial. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've been involved in Sundial for a long time. I've definitely made quite a few videos on them in the channel over the course of the time I've run it. So, Billy says, you think it'll hit $1 before Thanksgiving? I'm hoping we can hit $1 today. So, we'll see. I mean, $1 is not that far off. We're less than 9 cents away right now. So, we really could do it. We just need a 10% boost, and that is not uncommon in the cannabis space. You can see even over here, maybe when we had our last run up, we were getting 10, maybe 20% a day sometimes. So that was the last big run up. It took us up to 150. We'll see what we can do this time if we can't get higher than that. And Silver says, I range from Tulsi Gabbard, I like Tulsi Gabbard, and Ron DeSantis. I've heard of Ron DeSantis as well, but I've listened to Tulsi Gabbard on Joe Rogan, so I know Tulsi's a good one. Yeah, so, all right. And you know what, guys? I will point out we're at 147 likes. Only 3 more likes would get us to 150. So if you want to be one of the 3 that helps push us over 150 likes, that would be very appreciated. If 3 people from the stream, we've got a ton of them, want to hit that like button, maybe it would stop Sundial from tanking and going below 90 cents. It might. We're at 148, so we've already got one person liking the stream. 2 people. We're at 149 right now. Oh, 154. There we did it. A ton of people just started streaming in. There we go. Very nice to see. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. And hopefully we'll be bouncing off of 90 cents again. I hate that we're hitting it again. I was liking Sundial. I was liking the chart a lot more when we were on this little uptrend right here. Past couple of bars haven't been great for us. Silver says, I'm all liked and subscribed up. I appreciate that. And Jay Bonilla, do you see how Tesla is dumping? Yeah, it's just going down to the dumps. Tesla goes. I knew it couldn't last forever, this big run-up that Tesla was having. I didn't know it would end so soon. I thought that maybe they would stay above 1,000 for a bit and use that as support. And they might. They still might do it. They really might. Just because they're down today doesn't mean they won't have a little bit of a V, stay above 1,000. But I think people are looking at the Tesla valuation and saying it's a little bit rich. Diamond Joe, the real question, can we get past 95 cents? I hope we can. It looks like we got stopped out a little bit today. And let's see, did we get hit up at 95 cents? Did we get stopped there at any other points? Not quite. It looks like we were stagnating around there around market open yesterday, and then got bounced off at 96. But yeah, 95 cents. That did unfortunately stop us this morning. It was looking so good. We were on our way to $1. And then we got stopped at 95 cents. Yeah, which is unfortunate. Hopefully 90 cents will stop us again. Hopefully it'll stop us from moving down. And we'll get back on that uptrend. But who knows? It certainly could. I won't pretend that there's no risk with Sundial. Obviously, this thing's been manipulated time after time. Institutions are heavily shorting it. They definitely have an interest in keeping it down. And it's not impossible for them to do it, right? They certainly could probably figure out a way. They've figured out ways in the past to push it down. What we're going to need, though, is a lot of retail support. I think that retail is going to be very important today and over the coming days. So let me actually pull up TLRY. TLRY up about 3% on the day, following a very similar pattern to Sundial. So both of these stocks very similar patterns. So it looks like TLRY and Sundial are pretty much moving on the same chart, basically, right? Similar to what we were seeing with DWAC and PHUN and all that. And Silver says, I still think the shorts will come after metals, like in 2015 Christmas. Yeah, they might. They might do it. They might do it. And Zach Taylor, stuff's about to get real on election. I can't talk about that on the channel. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about things that we can't speak of on YouTube. So, holding at 90 cents, never selling, says the Lookin' channel. Yeah, 90 cents, not a bad place to be in, right? Because you have a very, well, I mean, if you're never selling that, it doesn't matter that much, but you do have a very clear level of support, and if you drop too much below, then you could sell if you were trying to cut your losses. But if you're willing to hold, then all the better, right? I think that we'll be doing good over the long term, even if we end up dipping a little bit today. I still think we'll be doing good over the long term. So GGPI is doing great. I've heard GGPI. Yeah, up 17%. It looks like we dipped down a little bit and are making a nice recovery on GGPI. I know this is a StockTwits favorite. We can pull up the StockTwits data right here. The ranking stocks. Number 1 is GGPI. So it's doing decently. And you know what's interesting? Oh, well, it's actually trending right here that we've gotten TLRY is starting to move up on trending. The reason that I'm looking at TLRY and Sundial is up to number 7. So they have been steadily moving up as these cryptos have been moving down. That's nice to see. Hopefully we'll get up there by end of day. But what's interesting is that on Ape Wisdom, TLRY is now above Sundial. More mentions on TLRY, up 533% mention-wise. More upvotes as well. I'm very curious what that's all about. What are people posting about TLRY that they're not posting about Sundial? What happened with TLRY? Let's take a peek at the news for TLRY actually and see if there's anything that just happened. So, no, I don't know. So let's see. Okay. So news that the Republican cannabis legalization bill is what's pumping these things. It looks like that's what these people are saying today. All right, we already knew about that. So it looks like maybe it's just legalization buzz that's moving TLRY up. But also, it and Sundial are moving very similarly to each other. So looks like in the poll we've got 83 votes. Should we federally legalize cannabis? 93% say yes, 7% say no. Good. Good. We'll end the poll right there. That's a good amount of votes. Now I'm curious though, which are you more bullish on, TLRY or Sundial? Okay, TLRY. And Zach says SBEA looking strong. We'll take a peek at that real quick. And we'll add in a CB. We'll add in a couple of cannabis stocks and OGI as well. Okay, here we go. Now we've got a new poll coming in, and SBEA. Yeah, that's nice. We've just been slowly moving up above 1040. Nice to see it. Happy to see it. Hopefully, yeah, I mean, this is good, actually. The past couple of days, we've just been trending up. Hopefully, we'll continue that today. Yeah, I think initially there was a little bit of a sell-off on this thing. But it looks like that may be over, right? As people really hyped it up on the opening bell, and then it just kind of tanked after that. But now people might have had a chance to hear about it, get the shares that they want, and this thing could be ready to rise. So Abstract says, I don't own other cannabis stocks, so Sundial gets my vote. It looks like 22 votes, 86% say Sundial, 14% say TLRY, 0% for Aurora or Organigram. And Kevin Knight, do you think SBA coffee shops locations will be big like Dunkin' and Starbucks? Well, they certainly look very nice. I think they could be fairly big, right? I think they would be... they'd be pretty big. I don't know how expensive they'll be. Obviously, we'll have to see what their pricing's like. Let me see, actually. Black Rifle. And we'll see what their pricing is like in their shops. if we can find it. So store locator. Let's see. No, I don't want to sign up for anything. I just want to know where their shops are. So I know they've got a couple of shops already. Okay, so store locator. Let's see. Where are they? I wish they just had them marked out on the map and I didn't have to do this, but we can pull this up for a second. Sundial below 90 cents. I'm not loving it. This has only happened a couple of times, and we're getting close to the lows of day. Below 88.5 cents, we're at lows of day, so I'm not loving that. You know what? We're not going to do this store locator on Black Rifle, but they certainly look. Let me see if I can find a picture. So, here is a. All right. This obviously, you know, everything always takes a little bit longer than you think it will on the internet. So here we go. Black Rifle, the store right here. You can see it's a fairly nice store. It looks pretty good. I've seen some other ones that look even nicer than this in their investor presentation. Probably, you know, they were highlighting the coolest ones they had, but. Casper Labarge says, trade any cannabis ETFs or focus on individual stocks? I mostly focus on individual stocks. The only cannabis ETF that I'm in is MSOS. And I think that's a US cannabis ETF. So that's the only one. But I mostly do individual cannabis stocks. Bros is falling. Could be a buy watch, says the Lookin' Channel. Let's see. Down. Ooh, yeah, they are down a bit. They're down a bit. It looks like they've just been trending down since before their earnings. They hit highs of 81. Jeez. Yeah, we'll see how low this one can go. We'll see how low it can go, but it's sitting at 61 right now. And I have had their coffee before. They're good. I just don't know. It seems like they just shot up way too quickly, right? They IPO'd around 32 and then got up to 81. It seems like it might have been a little bit of hype. And Kevin Knight, thank you for the super chat. Cool, he says. I appreciate that. And Kitchener Leslie says BRCRALARP. Is that live action roleplay? Is that what you're talking about? I'm not sure. What I'm reading there. Abstract, how does Toki ETF look? Toki. Oh, okay. Cambria ETF, Trust Cannabis ETF. Yeah, I mean, it's probably just going to move up with cannabis stocks if it's tracking the same Canadian companies, right? Let me see what their holdings are. So let's see what their holdings are. All right, so they got Tilray, they got IIPR, Constellation Brands, Scott's Miracle Grow, Arena Pharmaceutical, Village Farms International, Jazz Pharmaceutical. Okay, interesting ETF. So here's the holdings of Toki, their top 10. Tilray is by far their largest, right? 12.99% of what they've got is Tilray. And then Innovative Industrial Properties, Inc. I'm guessing that might make stuff similar to Scott's Miracle Grow. Might be that. And Constellation Brands, probably a cannabis producer, is my guess. Or maybe retailer, actually. Might be retailer. But yeah, it looks like... Okay, they're also in British American Tobacco PLC. All right, so yeah, that's an interesting ETF. I just prefer to pick my stocks. I prefer to just pick the stocks. We'll see what happens with it, though. I mean, obviously, ETFs, there's a lot less that you have to worry about. You just you put it in, you buy it, and you let it ride and let the people take care of it. So I will point out Rivian, though, is pumping up about 10% on the day. Now, let's see. What is going on StockTwits? What has it started taking effect yet? Nope. So Rivian, though, not ranking on the most active on StockTwits anymore, despite it being up 10% and having IPO'd not long ago. I'm surprised to see that nobody's talking about it on StockTwits or and even Reddit. even Reddit, it's not getting talked about all that much. It's at spot number 13. Not too surprising, right? It's not the biggest name out there, but it is around $100 billion market cap. I believe last I checked, it was around $100 billion. So I'm surprised. I mean, making new highs today in a big way. It certainly seems like it should be pumping up a little bit more. So the poll that we've got going on right now says, which are you most bullish on? It's TLRY and Sundial. Those are the two options. And Sundial is by far outpacing TLRY. 88% of people are more bullish on Sundial. 11% are most bullish on TLRY. And 0% for ACB, 0% for OGI. So that is interesting. And Abstract Artemis says, I love the Rivian truck. Yeah, the Rivian truck is cool. I did look at some pictures of it. I'd rather get the Cybertruck, though. The Cybertruck seems very fun. Really cool futuristic design. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I think it looks nice. Okay, and DWAC holding healthily above $60, just kind of stagnant. Like I said, we're just waiting for that one to get talked about, right? We need the next catalyst on it. So that's what we're hoping for with DWAC. And with Sundial, unfortunately, it looks like we're stagnating around 90 cents. Now, that's not the worst thing in the world. The fact that we aren't dumping is really good because we've pretty much always dumped in the past, right? Every time we've had a big pump up on Sundial, we've dumped shortly afterwards. So I'm not entirely discouraged by the fact that, we had this pump up and that we're sticking close to the all-time highs of it. That doesn't really discourage me. I'm happy, if we can stay above 90 cents, that's very nice. Even high 80s doesn't look too bad. As long as we're not making lows of what we did yesterday, if we're not breaking below 80 cents, I'm happy with it. So Abstract says, and I absolutely love the Cybertruck. I even have a Hot Wheels of it. Nice. Nice. And Kitchen Leslie says, Rob, do you own a doghouse? No, I do not. I do not own a doghouse. The Lookin' channel, yeah, the Rivian truck is so neat. If they could improve the range, that would be perfect. Yeah, that would be good. That would, the range on EVs is really important, but I think that battery technology could get really good in the future. We'll have to see what they can do with it, but I'm very hopeful for EV battery tech. And Kitchen Leslie says, I knew it. Yeah, I don't have a dog. Silver, so I have somewhere to use the truck. Says, I like land purchase first before buying the truck, so I have somewhere to use the truck. Well, I mean, you could just drive it around too. I like land purchases though; those are fun. There's a lot you can do with just having some land. You could certainly do a lot. Have a big party on that land. If you just, I've never actually bought just land. That does sound interesting. I'd just be worried that then you're stuck paying property tax on this asset, and you can't really rent out just pure land unless you put something on it. But I'd much rather buy a rentable property than just land, just in my opinion. But it would be nice at some point to just buy some land, big swath of it, just in case. You never know if the area is going to grow a ton and that land is going to 10-20x in value. It's interesting. Kitchener Leslie, I'm a professor of logic. That's how I deduced your lack of a doghouse. Well, you certainly, you didn't hear a dog barking in any of the streams, so no doghouse here. No doghouse. So, the Lookin' channel, PLTR might be on a reversal soon, and Jaden Butch. Hey, what are some option plays for this week? So, options are very risky, but we were looking at the Sundial options earlier, and you can see there's 219,000 open interest call options for the dollar strike price. So if you think Sundial's getting over $1 by the end of the week, well, they're selling between 5 and 6 cents a pop right now. So that might be a play to do. And Nicholas Morello, grow on the land, develop the land into a neighborhood with investors. Yeah, you could. If you wanted to start up a farm, I know that's a low margin industry. You could grow crops and all that and develop the land into a neighborhood with investors. Yeah. If you could get some people to invest in it, I mean, especially in this housing market, you need more houses. So that could be a good way to do it. But also very expensive, right? You need somebody you can, hey, it's easy to make money when you got money. So certainly you could, but that's going to take some capital initially. And Christopher Cranmer, Rob, do you hold any physical gold or silver? I do. I got a little bit of silver. I think it's nice to have just a little bit, just in case. You never know if you need a little something to trade with. Got a little bit of it, but mostly I like these online transactions just because the thing is, when you buy physical stuff, there is a big markup on it, and when you sell it, there's a big markdown, unfortunately. And when you buy it online, there's basically no fees, right? There's no brokerage fees, and if you want to buy into SLV, you just pay the price, and then if it rises 5 cents, you can sell it for 5 cents more, and you made some money. So that's what I prefer to do. Now, looks like QQQ is moving down. So the SPY is up. The tech companies are down. We haven't taken a peek at this, but let's actually pull it up on the stock market map, and we'll see what's going on with the markets. It looks like the markets are doing relatively well, but once again, some of the big tech companies are dragging us down. Microsoft, NVIDIA, Google, down a little bit. Netflix is down a little bit. Tesla's down pretty big. So QQQ is suffering a little bit because there is a little disparity between what the regular markets are doing and what the tech market's doing. So that is interesting to note. I am short SQQ, or I'm short QQQ right now. I'm in SQQQ. So we'll see. We'll see what we can get out of this. If we can't get it back down, start making new lows. I mean, looking at the yearly chart, it looks like we may be having a bit of a dip further, right? We might get back down to the previous lows. We might go a little bit lower than the previous lows. Who knows? Obviously, this might have just been a one-off dip, and then we'll continue trending up. But who knows? And let's see. Jay Bonilli, need a lot of silver. I'm a silver stacker. Get at least 500 to 800 ounces. Wow. That is quite a bit to have physically. Sounds very heavy. Sounds very heavy. So Hero says SoFi Technologies call volume above normal and directionally bullish. The fly on the wall. We'll take a peek at SoFi. Let's see. So up 4% on the day. Not bad. Yeah, not bad. And Abstract set a limit order for 0.92 and will buy the dip. Fingers crossed, says Abstract. Thing is, isn't it trading? Do you mean a stop limit? Is stop limit order on Sundial? Because it's trading below 92 cents right now. And Nicholas Morello says, I'll buy silver at 12 within 2 years. You think it's going down? I mean, it's possible, right? The metals markets definitely have been manipulated in the past. But I will say that silver, at least, is used in batteries. And I believe in every EV that they sell, at least in every Tesla, there's about 3 ounces of silver. And, with the amount that they're selling, it could have a somewhat noticeable impact on the price. No guarantees. But the fact that EVs are really taking off, we might start seeing silver prices rise on that. Who knows? Obviously, silver is a more valuable industrial metal, I think. Abstract says on public you can set a sell order for higher. I gotcha. I said sell order. Yeah. I thought you were saying a buy order. I gotcha. And Miguel Larios, November 26th calls for Sundial are the move, 100. So yeah, November 26th calls for Sundial. Let's see. Yeah, so they're a little bit more expensive. They're a little bit more expensive than November 19th, but you do have that extra time. You've got the extra time, so that might make it worth it for Sunday, depending on how long it takes. And on public, you can set a seller for higher price. Yep, we already got that. Silver always goes down when the Fed tapers. Yeah, it might end up moving down on that news. We'll see. Check out CREX, says Stone Get Money. We'll take a peek. CREX. Creative Realities, Inc. Ooh. Up big today. It looks like we'd taken a look at this one in the past. Let's see. Yeah, so we'd looked at this a long time ago. At least, no, this was before the channel. I'm going to get rid of those. Those no longer seem important, but I had looked at CREX from a long time ago, I guess, and looks like they're finally starting to move back up. So they had dumped down to around $1, $1.20 is around the lows of what they got to, but Now they're moving up big. It looks like their earnings came out, and they must have had a big earnings beat. Let's see. Maybe we'll look at the past 5 days and see. Yeah, okay, so no, earnings is coming out tomorrow. So what's going on with them then? Announced a merger with Reflect Systems. Oh, okay. So they're merging with Reflect Systems, and now they're moving up. All right, that's good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, and it's a merge. Sis don't get money. Yep. And silver is undervalued. Silver will rise with all the EV hype and the Green New Deal, says Jay Bonilla. And Gordo was asking, any palladium stackers out there? That's, yeah, you're getting into the niche metals. That's interesting. I've not ever considered buying palladium, but I guess it could be good. I guess it is. I think, isn't it more useful in some chemical processes or something like that? Some industrial processes it might be very useful for. It's almost justified what the price is, almost, or something like that. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Maybe it's platinum. Silver. If silver drops to extreme lows, companies will bypass the banks and lock in future supply consumption. Yeah, I think that is a real possibility, right? That if we see silver drop too much, that some companies like Tesla, who are going to be using a lot of silver for their batteries, might be looking to buy it pretty cheap. And Abdulaziz Almana, hey guys, what is the price prediction for Sundial for long-term investments? I mean, it's tough to say, with legalization around the corner, or seemingly around the corner, we really could be getting pretty darn high. I could see us, though, if legalization happens, I could certainly see us breaking $4, right, on the hype of it. Over the long term, though, I mean, if you're talking about the real long term, I think we'll probably, over the next 10 or 20 years, for sure, we'll be breaking the old highs. So it really depends on how far out the long term is. I'm bullish on the company. I think initially they were a little overhyped when they got released, and they certainly diluted a bit, years ago. And now they're starting their big uptrend. But I think it could take some time to break the old highs. Even legalization, I don't know. It could be tough to see us get past these old highs, just because you'd have to get to such a massive valuation. It's not impossible. They could certainly do it on hype, especially if people were buying them on a more of a movement level, right? If it's similar to AMC or GME, if people are looking to squeeze out all of these Sundial shorts, which you got in here right now, 324.99 million, almost 325 million. Let's refresh. Let's see. Nope, it's still the same. So I certainly think that we could get going pretty good on Sundial if we get some more Redditors in here. And currently looking at the Redditors, we are number 6, the number 6 ranking stock on StockTwits. Sundial is 278% increase over the past 24 hours, though. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Sundial. Obviously, they would really benefit if Reddit took to them and started posting more about them. TLRY is doing very well on Reddit, up 24 spots over the course of the day, up 525% mention-wise over the past 24 hours. So Abdullah says it could bounce back to 13. I don't think it could just shoot up to 13 right off the bat. I mean, it could. It's possible. But it seems unlikely that it'll get to 13. That's fairly steep. I could see it getting above 4, though, for sure. I could see it getting above 4, especially if we get legalization and some more big catalysts coming for them. What it would take to get us to 13 is it would really need to turn into an AMC almost. It would need, in the short term at least. Over the long term, yeah, I think we'll be going above 13. The long term, I think we'll be going above 13, just as they grow their fundamentals. But over the short to midterm, it would really take an AMC-like pump to get them above 13, and it's possible. I mean, they are a meme stock. At least they were way back when they were pumping up to 4 last time. So if people really got in them and stuck in them and tried to squeeze those shorts, if people really did it for that reason and we're just in this perpetual battle with the shorts, then we could really see some interesting stuff, especially if Sundial keeps up buying back their shares. That would be nice to see. They do some share buybacks. So Kevin Reed, palladium is used in catalytic converters, silver, and a ton of electronics for soldering. And most bullish on DWAC myself. Yeah, DWAC is looking good, up above $60. I'm liking it. And why is SSNT up so much? This is Nicholas Morello. We'll take a peek at SSNT. Oops. So, Silver Sun Technologies Inc. up 43%. This one looks like it had a very low market cap before this. So, They offer to buy Acumatica. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure what either of these companies are. Let me take a peek at their market cap. So, SSNT. And you're welcome, Abdulaziz. You are welcome. And they've got a $40 million market cap as it stands. So, very low float stock, very low market cap stock. Very easy to move this one. Not surprising that their offer to buy another company is rising them up 40%. So there's a lot of risk with this, but there's the potential to make some money on it, right? If we continue pumping up, they're still at $40 million from their market cap. So the pump could continue, but it's looking less likely now that we're starting to see some big red. I probably wouldn't be getting in this myself since it's just an offer to buy a company. I don't think it's a guarantee. So it signed a letter of intent to buy the Acumatica division of Dynamic Tech Services, an Atlanta-based reseller. Okay. So yeah, I'm probably not getting into this one, but it could be an opportunity right there. So Logitech is way down 20% in the past 6 months. Jeez, Logitech. I don't know what the ticker symbol, LGT or something. LG maybe, actually. No, Logitech. So Logitech, LOGI, down 23% in the past 6 months. Let's look. Yep, they have fallen almost 50% since their highs of 140. LOGI is the ticker. I appreciate that. Yep, we found it, but yeah, they're taking a beating. They are taking a beating. Let's see what they've been doing over the past 2 years. Okay, so they were on a massive uptrend. COVID hit, they dumped, and then they were on a massive uptrend, it looks like. And now, over the past couple of months, they're starting to move down. Maybe they got a little bit frothy. Maybe they are. Yeah, well, I'm not sure. Let's see what the market cap on LOGI is. They might be a good deal, might not be. $13 billion market cap seems a little tiny, honestly, for Logitech. I feel like so much of the stuff. I mean, I don't have any Logitech right here, but they certainly make a lot of computers. Equipment, so I don't know if they are justified in dumping this much, but yeah. OMG, check Yala. All right, I'll be taking a peek at Yala. A couple of people saying it. Yeah, up 21% on the day. Yala Group Ltd. It's an ADR. It's a foreign company. Okay, so their earnings just came out, it looks like. They got what they were expected to get, it looks like. Let's see. Is that why they were moving up? Did their earnings just come out, or did that happen a couple of days ago? Happened a couple of days ago, but now they're up. So what's the news on this? So Yala shares spiked slightly to session high, up 16%. Trader circulates seeking alpha blog post from contributor with 17 followers. Fox Lady 73. Yala is the ultimate short squeeze candidate with price tag of $28. Ooh. Interesting. So, people are saying Yala might short squeeze. Well, let's see if that's the case on Ortex. Let's see what Yala is looking like on Ortex. So, all right. 11% of the free float is shorted. 4.07 million shares. And a very high utilization, 96.64% utilization. So, to be fair, it is pretty heavily shorted in comparison to how shorted it could possibly be. Like, people are really shorting it. So maybe it could short squeeze, and it is up 21%. This could be a good beginning. It looks like they just came out with a decent earnings call that they were moving up on. Then they stagnated for a couple of days, and we'll see what happens with them. Sundial, though, might be looking at a similar situation, right? Moving up on big earnings call, stagnated for a couple of days, and then potentially as short squeeze news gets out. I know, Abstract, I'm sorry, I'm tired myself. I'm getting up a little early on the weekdays, earlier than I typically do. I'm getting up around 7 on the weekdays, but going to bed kind of late. I know I need to control that yawning. I should, every now and then I drink some tea or coffee on the stream, but coffee break at 10, says Silver. See, it's 11 right here. It's 10:59 for me. which is actually typically when we end the stream. So we're just about to be ending this thing. Maybe I'll go take a nap. Probably not. I have some work to do. But and Silver says, who dumped a truckload of lemon heads on LeBron's property? All right, we got to see this before we end the stream. Did someone really do that? No, I don't know. Did someone really dump out lemon heads on LeBron's property? I don't know. All right. Well, guys, it is time to end the stream. I go to sleep past midnight and wake up at 5:30 every day. Abstract says, geez, that doesn't sound too healthy. Sleep is important, man. Get some more sleep. Get some more sleep. So that's the end of the stream. It's looking like decent day for Sundial, right? The fact that they're not dumping is very nice. That we're holding above 90 cents, I like. We're up in the pre-market. Not quite at where we were at when we closed. Where we closed was 92 cents, so hopefully we'll start moving up over the course of the day. Maybe ending the stream will be a good sign for Sundial, because when we ended the stream yesterday, we were around 82 cents, and then we continued to soar up to 92 cents as soon as the stream ended. Hopefully we'll see a similar thing with Sundial today, but that's what we got. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and feel free, to hit the like button on your way out, or to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and make sure to join us for the future live streams every Monday, or every day of the week, I guess. Starting at 9 is when we typically start these things. So hope you all enjoyed. See you in the next one. Bye, guys.